Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to another grammar lesson. This is your teacher Minu, and I hope that I find you all in good health and cheer. So, today I would like to teach you tenses, another grammar lesson for you. So, before I jump into tenses, let me ask you to think, what is a verb? So, you have always learned about a verb as any word which denotes an action. But when you think about that word itself, for example, action. Action, the word itself denotes an action, but it's not a verb, it's a noun. So that definition you have learned, it's not actually precise. So in this class, I would like to tell you that a verb is any word which tells you either of these three things. It either tells you what a subject is. For example, I am a teacher. I being the subject. I am a teacher. And second thing is what a subject does. I am teaching. I am doing something. I am teaching. And the third thing is what happens to a subject. I fell down. So that happened to me. So there are these three different things that a verb can communicate to you. Now, keeping that in mind, I want you to pause the video for a second and look at the picture on the right side of the video. You can see a lovely picture on the right side. And just take out your notebook and pen and describe what is happening in the picture. What are these two people doing? Use appropriate verbs to describe this. Now pause the video and write it down, and after that continue watching the video. So I'll give you some examples and illustrations. For example, the girl is smiling. The boy is giving her flowers. They are standing at the door. So these are three things that are happening, three actions that are happening in this particular picture. So now let's come to the topic of what is a tense. Tense is just an element of verb. You know that verb is any word. So in this particular word, tense is just an element. Now tense tells us about verb's relation to time. Tense tells us about the verb's relation to time. So there are three tenses in English, as you might know: past, present and future. To be honest, in English language, there are only two tenses, past and present. The future tense, we actually make it up by adding will and shall to the present tense. So past is what has already happened, present is what is happening now, and future is what will happen later. So these three tenses: past, present and future. Now I want you to pause the video and write down three sentences with verbs belonging to one of each tenses. I'll give you an example. I taught you yesterday, past tense. I am teaching you now, present tense. I will teach you tomorrow, that is future tense. Now pause the video for a second and write down three sentences that belongs to each tense. Now let's discuss tense and two other aspects of verb, two other elements of verb. So any verb has three elements: tense, aspect and mood. So there was a popular misunderstanding that these three elements are one and the same. But contrary to the widespread misunderstanding, tense is not the same as mood and aspect. These three are three different elements that belong to a verb. Tense just tells you about the time, whether the action happened in the past, present or future. For a verb to make complete sense and to communicate all the necessary information, tense has to be combined with mood and aspect. So that is another important thing you have to keep in mind. For all the necessary information to be communicated about a verb, tense has to be combined with mood and aspect. So let's come to the element of aspect now. So aspect is that element of a verb which gives you information regarding whether the action is already completed or the action is ongoing or incomplete. Let us look at these two examples. I have finished my assignment yesterday at 10. I was finishing up my assignment yesterday at 10 when suddenly class was interrupted by an announcement. If you look at these two sentences, the glaring difference is that In the first sentence, the action is already completed. There is nothing more to happen. I have already finished my assignment. In the second sentence, the assignment is not yet finished. I was finishing it, but then it got interrupted. Okay, I was finishing. So it was an ongoing activity. So that is aspect. There are 4 different aspects in English grammar or tense or verb, sorry. Simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. You can see a lovely picture of Garfield standing there with a donut in one hand and a cup of coffee in another hand. Let us try to describe this particular picture using 4 different aspects. First of all, simple. The cat eats donuts. In this sentence, the simple aspect is usually used to state a habit. The cat eats donuts. It's not like other cats who just drinks milk. This one eats donuts. The second aspect is continuous. See, look at the cat. The cat is standing there. He is eating donuts. The cat is eating donuts. That means it is a continuous, ongoing activity. Third aspect is perfect. The cat has eaten donuts. Now, this is an activity that has already happened, but its relevance is still being felt. So, somebody is going to feed this cat some more milk, and then the owner says, "Oh, no need to feed this cat because he has already eaten donuts." So, it happened in the past, it is finished, the action is completed, but still the action has relevance when the statement is delivered. So now let's come to the fourth aspect, perfect continuous. The cat has been eating donuts. In this particular sentence, the action happened sometime in the past, but it hasn't completed. It is still going on. The cat started eating donuts at like 10 in the morning, but it is still eating now. It has not stopped eating. So the cat has been eating donuts. So these are the 4 different aspects of verb. Let's now discuss the mood. Any sentence requires some feeling towards the verb on the part of the speaker. Now, mood tells you the speaker's feelings towards the verb. So, there are three different moods in English verb: indicative, imperative, and subjunctive. Indicative mood is when a speaker is simply stating a fact objectively. For example, we are in class. We are in class. Let's look at imperative mode now. Here the speaker is giving the listener a command or a request. Please go to the class. So that is a request. It can either be considered as a request or a command, depending on the tone in which you deliver it. Then you come to subjunctive. In subjunctive, the action has not happened. It is happening only in the mind of the speaker. So the speaker is saying a hypothetical situation or a wish. So I wish I were in class. I wish I were in class, especially with the lockdown and college being closed and you can't go to the physical environment of a classroom. So you are hoping, wishing that you were in the class. So that is subjunctive mood. So these are the 3 different modes. Now let's recap what we have already covered. We discussed about the 3 tenses: present, past, and future. Then we discussed about aspects, 4 aspects: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. After that, we discussed about 3 moods: indicative, imperative, and subjunctive. And now let's come to an activity. So I have 5 sentences here in the video. You have to pause and identify the tense, aspect, and mood of these sentences. Write it down in your notebook, and I hope that this lesson was beneficial for you. And I hope that you all are being safe and sound in your homes. Wherever you are, please be safe and sound and practice social distancing. Thank you so much. Have a nice day ahead. Bye.